welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're gonna be reacting to Lala. So let's get right into the video.
We're human, and when we see a situation, we judge it, even though we don't know the full story. But the point is, the internet and real life don't always align, and the only reason I'm gonna explain myself today is because I do have a brand, and my character is being tested. And normally, I wouldn't even address situations because if I know the truth and I know my own integrity, I don't owe an explanation to anybody. But like I said, my character is being tested. I also didn't want to immediately say anything or react off of impulse because a lot of you guys you're being silent, you just don't care. It's not even that, I just don't have anything to go back and forth about on the internet. So this is why I'm going to make the video, and that's it. I have a very reserved personality. I'm just naturally not like a talker to be blasting everything. That's just not me. And I'm sorry that upsets some people. So first of all, me and Ruby, we were never genuine friends. And that may come as a shock or a surprise to some.
Yo, what do they mean? What do she mean they was never friends? So y'all telling me this girl and this other girl put a front for social media? They were so-called besties and sisters or whatever on social media, but in real life they not really friends. That's weird. So she basically saying they just like associates or something. I don't know, that's weird to me.
You guys, because you just don't know the ins and outs of things that go on behind closed doors. You only know internet, you only know pictures, posts, that's all you know. And that's what we put out there. So that's, of course, what else would you expect? Unless it's told to you. But overall, the literal truth is that me and Ruby were never real, genuine friends. And we just gave this internet persona of sisters and besties because it looks good. And honestly, it was established on her end to me that that's all she wanted. And that she didn't really mess with me. And I'm going to get into how I actually found that out. But alright, so to jump back probably almost a year ago, not quite, but almost a year ago, I was with Ruby at her house in Atlanta. I think I was staying there. And if you don't know, I used to live in Atlanta. That's where I met Ruby, and that's where I went to high school. So I was staying at her house in Atlanta, and we got into an argument about something that had nothing to do with me and her personally, but it triggered her to just expose her true feelings towards me. And she just ended up telling me honestly, I've been holding this in for as long as we've been friends. So she told me and straight up looked me in the eye, and there were two other girls there to witness this, and said I never really messed with you. We're not genuine friends, and I don't look at you in that way, and I don't want to be friends anymore. And I was like, what? I was literally sitting there so confused. I was asking her questions why wouldn't you tell me this sooner? I don't understand why you would just sit there and fake a friendship with me. That's weird. And
yeah, that's weird.
I felt the opposite.
That's why I don't trust people.
This is my sister. I feel like we created a bond and we overcame a lot. So I thought we were real friends. And from the jump, everyone would tell me watch out. She doesn't have the same intentions. This, that, and the third. But I don't listen to people because I'm hard-headed, yes, but I also don't just judge someone based off what I'm told. I like to experience it firsthand.
Facts.
And then if the outcome is bad and people prove me right, then so be it. But I would never just not mess with someone because things were told to me about them and etc. But yeah, so she just basically told me that, and she's the reason that I've held this in, and she's yeah, I know that I'm fake for it, but the reason that I've held this in is because my label told me that it was a good look and a good idea for us to have this little public friendship and bestie shit because you're popping, you're a pretty girl, and I need to be around that. And she straight up told me that. She's I need to be around a girl like you, and we can follow each other, and I'm going to still like your pictures, and, I'm not going to unfollow you or anything, but just in real life, it's just not, it's not that. I literally left her house bawling, you guys. I went straight to my mom's house. She told me, this girl, you've been seeing the signs from other incidents prior, and this girl showed you her true colors, so now you gotta make a decision. Because my mom, just being a mom, was I'm pretty sure y'all are gonna become cool again, and I know how you are, and you either have to know what it is and accept that and don't put your feelings in it, or move on and dead the friendship because
Nah, if that was me and you tell me you don't want to be friends with me, bye. I'm not asking you to stay. I'm not asking to be your friend. Bye. Goodbye.
she just straight up told you that you guys aren't genuine friends. So what's the point in continuing to be around someone that feels like that towards you? And I literally was so hurt by this, y'all, for weeks. Me and Ruby didn't speak for probably like 2 months. And then I don't even know how we reconnected, but she ended up reaching out to me randomly, I think while she was in LA, to hang out or something. And I didn't bring anything up. I just went along with it. We never discussed the situation again. To this day, we've never discussed it. It was just like erased, like nothing happened. But from that point, I knew, like, look, I gotta be smarter this time. If I'm gonna still hang around her and be friends with her, just know what it is, know how she is, and don't put my feelings in it. And don't take everything personally because you're just gonna keep getting hurt. And I'm typically the one in any argument we got into or any little thing to always be trying to mend it, apologize, even if I'm not in the wrong, just be like, look, like I love you, whatever, whatever. I'm always that person. And so I'm just at a point where I'm like, I don't owe that to anyone when they don't have my best interests. And when it's just one-sided, I don't owe that to anyone. I'm tired of apologizing. I'm tired of continuing a fake friendship and being around
I
people that
feel
don't
you.
really care about me. Like, I'm just tired of it. So yeah, basically after that, I had seen her true colors, and I just told myself to proceed with caution and just be aware because, you just can't trust people. You can't put your feelings in everything too much. Everyone isn't the same. That's just the reality of life. And I'm at the point where I'm fine with that. I can accept that. And you guys are probably wondering like what made her feel that way. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest. So what all stems from that is how we became friends initially. And some of you might know, some of you may not. I'm not gonna even say names aside from me and Ruby's because this isn't about other people, but you guys need to know all the facts to understand like my point of view and why I did what I did. So the way we became friends was through a guy that we were both messing with. So I was about 17, and I didn't really keep up with that world. I didn't really get in tune with like industry stuff and just all those little things
This is
till I moved
crazy.
to LA.
This is
So at the
crazy.
time, I think I was like a junior or senior in high school. My mom raised me very strict. Like, never got to go out the house to really do anything. So when I met him, I actually met him through a mutual friend. And we just kind of vibed. I started hanging out with him. I ended up kind of on and off talking to him for years. Me and Ruby didn't really like each other because she found out that I was messing with him. And she even messaged me at the time like, oh, do you know who I'm dating? Whatever. I'm like, no, I don't. And then she's like, oh, well, because I posted a picture in his sweatshirt. So I clearly had no idea. If I don't know you personally, I'm not going to keep up with your relationship. I'm just not.
Right.
And the reality is that I was 17. Did I care? No. Of course, guys are going to lie to you and tell you that they're single and you're the only one and this, and yeah, I believed him. I was naive and I was 17. So, whatever. Fast forward, we kind of just had this little, I wouldn't even say beef, we just had like a tension. Like, we didn't like each other. Words got around because of this guy. And so we eventually both just we weren't messing with him at all anymore. And she was being managed by someone that was kind of trying to manage me as well. And they were making a proposal to me. We had met once before to discuss it. And then the second time, he had told me, like, Ruby was kind of reaching out to me on his behalf as well. And she was trying to hang out. And I was skeptical about it at first. And anyone that was friends with me at the time couldn't vouch for this, but I would tell them and they're like, bro, like, be careful. That's a little weird that she's trying to just be besties and stuff, considering, like, the common factor. And I felt like, is she trying to set me up, or is she doing this to like get closer to me so that I don't talk to him or to find out my business? I was just very like unsure. So the first few times she tried to hang out, I didn't like follow through, and then I think we finally hung out. And then after that, there was a time that we met up with the guy that was eventually managing both of us, and he sat us down knowing the situation, and he's like, look, y'all both want to make money, right? At the time, we both really weren't making money. I worked like a regular job at the mall, whatever. And he's he's like, you know, y'all both want to make money, y'all both have potential, and he's like, I don't think you should have this beef over a guy that, first of all, doesn't care about either of y'all, clearly is messing with tons of other girls. He's like, you guys don't have to really like each other, but you could at least make money together and, you know, play it cool just to make money together. He's like, but you don't really have to be friends. You don't really have to like each other. So we kind of like awkwardly agreed to that, and then we were just around each other a lot more because we had the same manager. And then there was like other personal things that happened, so I feel like we kind of got closer because we bonded on stuff that really we couldn't relate to with anyone else or talk about with anyone else. So that's kind of what made me feel like, oh damn, like this girl really turned into like my best friend because we just bonded on a lot of stuff, some really deep shit. So that's kind of how everything started. But now I'm realizing, now that I'm older and I'm wiser, I'm just realizing like, which maybe it worked out for a lot of people, but I could never do that again. You cannot base a friendship off a guy if both parties are not secure in themselves. And it was later revealed, which I don't even think was a secret because she would still say it to people, but she was still in love with him, and it bothered her just knowing, like, you know, just knowing we both messed with him. The main thing that I think triggered her when she told to me was that me and him were still cool. After all of that, we were still cool. We didn't talk, I didn't mess with him like that anymore, but he would hit me from time to time, check in, I would run into him at events, and I would tell Ruby every single time, like, so-and-so hit me, or I just saw them at this place. Every single time I would tell her, because I felt like I should let her know, right? We're friends now, I'm not going to be weird and sneaky, and I wasn't sneaking around to hang with him, but I'm going to let her know if he texts me, or if I see him at this place and we have a conversation, because we didn't end on a negative note, but they did. They ended on a very, very bad, toxic note. And all the times that I would tell her, she would never express to me that it bothered her until, you know, later on when she really revealed everything. She was like, yeah, I held all this in and I should have spoke up, but she told me like she just felt like it was something without saying that I should know. And I agree, you know, and I later apologized, like I didn't think about it that way, and I probably should have just completely cut ties, not even been cordial with him. I just felt like, damn, he didn't do anything to me personally, and I knew him and had a separate relationship with him before I knew you. So it's like, it just put me in an awkward situation, but I definitely learned from that, and from that point on, I never ever responded to him again, never anything. Yeah, so I made that very apparent to her, and yeah, it really was bothering her on the inside. And I feel like that's why communication is so important, and if you really have a true friendship, be honest with them to avoid situations like this. Because that could have saved me a long ass time from being friends with someone that really didn't feel the same way and secretly disliked me. I could have saved a lot of time from that. So, alright, so fast forward to.
Y'all, let me tell y'all, that is the reason I have no friends. I don't have no friends. Cause that right there, that's weird. I don't got time to be trusting you or doing this if you going behind my back and doing something else. So therefore, that's why be by my lonely and rock lonely. You feel me? Cause that's just weird. People weird and people not genuine. But yeah, that's why I rock by myself. That's weird though.
Recent events, I was hit up by multiple casting agents to do the Mood Swings music video, which, if you don't know, is the Pop Smoke featuring Lil TJ song. So I was hit up to do it, emails, messages, all that. He did ask me personally as well, but I was hit by actual casting people too. So the first thing I did was I called Ruby and I told her, and I sent her screenshots of the emails I got and the text messages I got asking me about it. And I was like, hey, like, do you mind if I did this, or would it be weird? And if so, I won't do it, but I just want to know because it's a big song. They're paying me a lot, whatever. So she straight up told me, like, oh my god, that's so cool. I would be a bad person to tell you not to do that. And I didn't have to ask her permission per se. I'm grown. I can make my own decisions. But I just felt like because of the public situation that happened with them, that was embarrassing for her. I owed her just at least to ask and just to let her know. So I asked, and she told me that it was fine with her. And she literally went on to be like, if I was you, I would do it. She's like, it's not like it's just a random song. Like, I think this is good. for you and you should do it. So I'm like, okay, cool. Still didn't confirm with the casting people yet. Some like days went on, probably like a day or two actually, and I called her again. I'm like, I just want to make sure 100% you're fine with it before I tell them I can do this. And she persisted to push it and encourage it and say like, yes, you should do it. Like, I promise you, I don't feel any type of way. I would do the same thing. I asked her a third time, you guys, a third time on a different day. And she said the same thing, still encouraged it, still was all happy-go-lucky about it, I should do it. Yeah. So, after asking multiple times, I confirmed with them. And I didn't see the issue. And another reason why I even considered it, because I know people are like, well, why would you even want to do that when someone publicly embarrassed your friend? Like I said at the beginning of this video, the internet and real life are two different things. I know it's the perception that they had this big issue and all that, but the truth is they were still cool after that. And we all three hung out. Like, they were cool. Yeah, so anyways, a little bit back, probably like a few months ago, Ruby called me and was like, hey, TJ is doing this video for Sex Songs. She didn't tell me the name at the time. I didn't actually know any details, but the video since then came out with a different girl. So if you want to go back and look, whatever, to reference what I'm saying, it's called Sex Sounds. And she told me, she told me like, he's doing a video, he's filming it in Jamaica, and he needs a lead girl, and I think you should do it. But then I never followed through because it was very last minute, and I was like, damn, I'm not about to go to a whole different country for someone that I don't know. And I didn't even know the treatment. I didn't know anything. But if you go back and look, the video was 10 times more intimate than Mood Swings was. If you go from there to now for Mood Swings, why would I think that this would be an issue? You know, like, she put that in my head initially. That was the biggest thing. After I asked about the Mood Swings video, I even told her, like, if you don't want me to do it, I won't do it. She never spoke up or said otherwise. And, you know, this video in comparison to the other one she asked me to do was in a much more professional setting. It was just like, I wouldn't have seen the issue because of that. And I still asked multiple times. So now, you know, the video is said and done. I call her, I tell her about it, and everything is still on my end, under my impression, cool, right? So then she texts me, I think like the next day randomly, and just said, she said, love you as a sis because we've been through a lot, but not gonna lie, I can't F with you anymore. And I said, I can't say I didn't see this coming, but I just wish you could at least be honest with me about how you feel when I asked. But I was probably being selfish, so I'm sorry if I hurt you along the way. And that was the truth because I asked her prior. She said she was fine with it, so if you weren't, you should have.
No, I feel like, okay, so yeah, Lala, she right on her end, because if you asked her multiple times and she told you it was cool, then that's her fault that she mad because she should have said how she felt in the first place. But then again, like, if you felt some type of way, you should express that from the beginning and not wait till after everything is done to say something. That's just weird. But that's just my opinion.
Spoken up. But now it's too late. The video is said and done. So it's like, you're telling me, oh, I can't F with you anymore. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to sit there and beg for a friendship. I was kind of just at peace with myself. Like, I'm not surprised. That's how she is. And I'm starting to think she probably was testing me or something. But I asked so many times that you had a chance to really say how you felt. And her biggest problem is communication because she holds things in. And then when push comes to shove, it's like, you know, like everything at once. And I'm like, damn, like, speak up. If that's how you feel, say that. I don't ever hold back. I'm at the point where I'm happy with myself and I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to spend too much time dwelling over something that I can't change. And I feel like maybe she thinks that I'm unapologetic or have no remorse on the situation. And I understand how it looks and how it's messed up and how she feels, but with everything involved, you can't really be that upset. And yeah, I told the girl if I would have known it was a problem from the jump, I would not have done it. But you never let me know that. So it's just a weird situation because she's even said to me, and I think she said it on the internet before, like, her and TJ are friends, no ties, like, they were never dating. The internet just blows everything out of proportion. We even all three hung out afterwards. So, and had certain conversations, and just like, it was just very apparent that that was in the past. They were clearly friends. Like, Ruby would talk about guys she wanted or mess with in front of him. It was just like a little play, like, I don't know, a little odd, but I'm just saying, from my point of view, this is why I didn't feel like I was that in the wrong. But I can understand how it looks, and I'm owning up to that. There was even a point where they were talking, and Ruby was saying how she wanted his friend, and he was like, he wanted me, and it was like this little weird trade, and then he ended up messaging me, and I had showed her, and she was like, I don't care, whatever. Like, it was just a weird situation. I just am only saying that to let y'all know, like, it wasn't deeper. It wasn't like her boyfriend. They really both didn't care. I'm rambling a lot, so I'm probably gonna just cut to each of my points in this video. But basically, after it was established that we were no longer gonna be in each other's lives, I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna move on. And I hung out with him. I did, and we vibed. And it was cool. Like, shit really moved fast, and I didn't want it to be posted and all that to happen, but under the circumstances, you know, things just played out how they did. She was fully aware before the internet was. She was fully aware before I even did the video, before anything got deeper. She was aware, and I just want that to be known. I wasn't on any sneaky, weird stuff. I didn't go behind her back. None of that. I truly wish the best for her. I just feel like it was meant for us to exit each other's lives. And that's really the reality of this whole situation. I feel like I put a lot more effort into our friendship and really tried to make it work. But sometimes people just aren't compatible, and no matter how you try to force things, it's just not going to happen. And I think that I accepted a lot and brushed a lot of things she did to me behind closed doors just under the rug, because I just really was desperate to have a best friend, and I felt like we did connect on personal things that we had a bond over.
Okay, pause. For real, for real. If you feel like, okay, y'all, you two people, okay, say two people, y'all might connect on a lot, but if y'all not meant to be, don't sit here and try to force something that's not meant to be, because in the long run, you gonna be hurt, and you gonna be mad about something, so just leave it alone, you feel me? But we done with this video, because she not saying nothing for real. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can get that notification every time I post a video. And see you in the next video. We out. Peace.